You expect me to believe this thing has no mouth, no gut, no anus?
That's correct.
That's a lie. Everything eats.
Not this.
Then how is it alive?
It doesn't eat. Bacteria inside it convert poison into energy.
So your story is no food, no digestion, living off poison? And I'm supposed to buy that?
Yeah, I'm telling the truth. I discovered it.
That's your alibi. A worm that shouldn't exist at the bottom of the ocean.
It does exist. I swear.
Then prove it, or you're going away for a long time. And where you're going, they don't do science, they do superstition.
Fine. You want proof? Let's open the file. February 17th, 1977. Galápagos Rift, 2,500 meters below the Pacific Ocean. 3 men inside a metal sphere the size of a closet. They were looking for volcanic vents, cracks in the earth, geology. They were not expecting to find anything alive. The deep ocean was supposed to be a desert. No sunlight, no photosynthesis, no food chain, just dead matter drifting down like snow. But when the submersible Alvin reached the sea floor, they found a garden. Giant clams, mussels, crabs, and rising above all of it, tall white tubes, each one crowned with a bright red plume. Swaying in volcanic water, 2 meters tall. Nobody knew what they were looking at. The specimens were brought to the surface, preserved in formaldehyde, and, reportedly, Russian vodka. No biologists had been on the expedition. The samples were sent to labs for analysis. And when researchers finally opened them up, that's when the trouble started. The animal was classified as a tube worm. Scientists named it Riftia pachyptilla. The tube, made of chitin-like crab shell, could grow over 2 meters. From the top emerged a structure called the branchial plume, crimson red, packed with hemoglobin. But when they examined the body inside, no mouth, no esophagus, no stomach, no intestines, no anus. The entire digestive system was missing. This wasn't a simple organism. It had a circulatory system, a nervous system, reproductive organs. Just no way to eat. For 4 years, no one could explain it. 1980, Harvard University. Colleen Cavanaugh was a first-year graduate student, no formal training in microbiology. She was attending a lecture on the tube worm. The speaker described the missing digestive system. Then he mentioned something strange, a spongy organ filling most of the body, yellow, sulfur crystals. Cavanaugh stood up, her documented words. "Well, it's perfectly clear. They must have sulfur-oxidizing bacteria inside their bodies." She was right. Cavanaugh convinced the curator to send her tissue samples. Using microscopy and enzyme assays, she examined the strange organ. It had a name, the trophosome. It was packed with bacteria, billions of them, roughly 1 billion cells per gram of tissue. And these bacteria could do something extraordinary. They could turn poison into food. Hydrogen sulfide. At hydrothermal vents, it pours out of the earth in concentrations that would kill most animals within minutes. In humans, hydrogen sulfide blocks the enzyme that lets your cells use oxygen. Even with oxygen in your blood, you die. It also permanently damages hemoglobin. Every affected blood cell is ruined for life. This is poison at the most fundamental level. And the giant tube worm bathes in it. The bacteria inside the trophosome are chemosynthetic. Instead of sunlight, they use chemical energy. They oxidize hydrogen sulfide. They burn it. And they use that energy to build sugars, proteins, life. The worm doesn't eat, it farms. But here's the problem. How do you deliver a deadly poison to bacteria living inside your body without killing yourself in the process? The answer is in the blood. Human hemoglobin is simple. 4 protein chains. It binds oxygen, carries it through the bloodstream, releases it to your tissues. Tube worm hemoglobin is something else. The primary form contains 144 protein chains, plus 36 linkers. Total molecular weight, 3,500 kilodaltons. Human hemoglobin is about 64. This molecule is 50 times larger. And it does something that should be chemically impossible. It binds oxygen and hydrogen sulfide at the same time. Oxygen at the iron, sulfide at completely separate sites. Free cysteine residues. Later, researchers discovered something stranger. 12 zinc ions. They form reversible bonds with hydrogen sulfide. The blood picks up oxygen from the water. It picks up poison from the vent. It carries both together to the trophosome. The bacteria are fed. The worm's own cells never touch the poison. One more number. In 1991, a volcanic eruption on the East Pacific Rise created fresh seafloor. Scientists marked it. They returned over the following years. Tube worms colonized the site, and they grew fast. Up to 85 centimeters per year. Some reports even faster, up to 160 centimeters. This is the fastest growth rate ever recorded for any marine invertebrate. And remember, this animal has no digestive system, consumes nothing through any conventional route. Every gram of body mass is produced by bacteria. No feeding, no digestion, no intake. So how do you outgrow everything else in the ocean while eating nothing? Here's what we still don't know. We don't know how the larvae recognize the correct bacterial strain. We don't know how the 2 carbon fixation pathways are coordinated. We don't know the oxygen concentration inside the trophosome. It's never been measured. From the ISME Journal, 2018. 40 years after discovery of chemosynthetic symbiosis in the tube worm Riftia pachyptilla, how organisms maintain their unique host-symbiont associations at the cellular level is still largely unknown. The symbiont bacteria have never been successfully cultured outside their host, despite decades of effort. We cannot grow them in a lab. We cannot study them in isolation. We can only observe them inside the body of an animal 2,500 meters below the ocean surface.
So, an animal with no digestive system, living off poison, growing faster than anything else in the ocean, carrying oxygen and a lethal compound in the same bloodstream. Documented, verified, published for nearly 50 years. The evidence is in the file. The case remains open.
This is CuBiX Meow Journey of Discovery. We investigate what shouldn't exist. Subscribe if you want to see the next case.